Oh, you want to do the pop quiz first?
We got to ask this.
Okay, this is unrelated to our list here.
Yeah.
But here's the pop quiz. Phil, your son has been racking his brain with this for the last hour since we asked him.
Well, that won't take long to rack that brain.
Damn, Merry Christmas, Dad. Thank you so much.
He never misses an opportunity.
No, he does not. And I'll be seeing him tomorrow on Christmas Eve. That'll be good.
How's he feeling?
He's doing good, yeah.
He was under the weather.
Yeah, he seems okay. He was doing the show yesterday on CBS, so he's fine. He's good. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. He's got enough cotton. He works 2 days a week. Relax, okay? Relax. He's
but
good.
He was like bedridden and having some vomiting issues.
Vomiting issues. Yes, he was.
You both were very open with that.
Yep. He was puking his brains out. But hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's Monday, December 23rd. Week 16 is in the books. Chris Simms, Ahmed Fareed. And you may notice, you may not, that we have a new desk here. We're big time. I don't know if you've kind of heard, kind of a big deal around here.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal. Can you please hide your energy cancer drink?
Sorry.
Put it in there a little farther, okay? I'm
there
trying to not promote cancer on this podcast.
The problem is if I put it too close to my
And you
feet,
spilt it already, and it smells like it.
I did.
And it's party foul.
I sopped up most of it with paper towels.
Sopped up most of it. Okay.
I like the desk. I'm a
You do
fan
like the
because
desk?
what I
Good.
think they have the open concept, right? So you
get
can
to
still
show our
see
sneakers.
the tennis shoes here.
Yeah, right.
We did just touch left feet, which you can't see, thankfully, which is why they put the thing in the middle.
It's my right foot, though, just so you know.
Oh, okay, your right foot.
Right.
And then we also have the unbuttoned thing in the front. But I hear in the near future we're getting something that's more three-dimensional.
Ooh, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. I'm excited, though. I like this. It feels more comfortable. I feel better. We only got winners at the desk. Oh, nope, sorry. Dak Prescott's on there and Odell's on there. So that does not mean we only have winners on the desk. We have some losers along with myself up there.
Did you just put yourself in the loser category?
I'm in the loser category. Sorry, I am. Yep. But we got a good one today. We're going to ask me anything, okay? No real deep dives. The only film that I really watched is Cowboys-Eagles. And I didn't get into every nitty-gritty detail, but have a very good feel of the game regardless. Everything else, we'll kind of hit questions, go through the league, do that. We got our big Verizon spot that we're going to hit on a big play from this past weekend in the Rams 49ers, all of that good stuff. But let's get this party started.
So it's really a focus, and we took all your questions, and we really like when we do that because they're normally good questions and stuff that we haven't thought of.
I didn't realize, we got 3 pages
You just saw the 3 pages.
I did.
We got
I didn't realize
25 questions, mostly focusing on teams that are in the playoffs, in the mix here.
And I try won't be long. I know I could be long-winded. And
I don't think that's we're fine.
All right.
We'll get halfway through, and then we'll see what time do we start, right around 12:20. Okay, so we'll be fine here.
Okay, good. We'll be fine
So let's dive right into it.
Yeah.
The first one, we're going to talk Cowboys and Eagles here. This one comes from Smiling Mike PB.
Yeah.
He says, what's wrong with the Cowboys? Can coaching and play calling cause drop passes or missed tackles? Every player on that roster is a high-paid professional. Aren't they that talented? I really don't get. Please help me understand. Thanks. Sorry for my poor English. I'm German.
Oh, don't worry. We don't really speak English that well here in this country.
That's what I was saying.
That's our number one.
One of us.
Yep, that's our number one language, and we're kind of iffy on it. So don't worry. Very good question. And I think to just give a broad stroke of that game in general, all right, the players of the Cowboys definitely let them down. No doubt about it. Dak Prescott was off. There's drop passes by Gallup, drop passes by Amari Cooper, drop passes by Jason Witten. The defense had a chance to make a play here and there, intercept the ball. They drop it. So, if you're just going to blame players, yes, do they deserve some of it? Certainly. Dak Prescott's shoulder, I do think, was an issue as well. I felt like he was throwing the ball a little different, like afraid to let it go a little bit when I watched the film. Almost like he was afraid to let it really torque, kind of kept it tight to where, it led to some errant throws, whether it was in the ground, high, whatever it may be. He did not play great. There's no other way to say that. But at the end of the day,
he threw it 44 times.
Yes.
So if there was an issue, you'd almost think they would try to.
You would think
the run game.
You would think, yeah. But here's the difference, and this is where we got to at smiling.mike.pb.
Yeah.
This is the issue, and this is my issue with the Cowboys in general. Smiling Mike is that they don't have, game plan specific defense. You've heard me say that a lot. Jim Schwartz was doing crazy stuff to the Cowboys yesterday. Mm-hmm. Not always, not every play, but on a third down or a first down, here was something different. You don't know what we're going to be in, so you have no tell or no feel for what we're doing on the defensive side of the ball. And then the big thing to me, in the Cowboys on defense, it's the same 2 or 3 defenses the whole game. I've been saying that all year. It doesn't change, and that allows game planning and ways to attack them. Some easiness there, too, to go, oh, okay, I know they're going to be in this or that, and the quarterback can walk up to the line of scrimmage and feel always comfortable that way. All these things I've been preaching on the podcast. But my biggest thing, too, with the game yesterday would be the Cowboys' offense. Like, what were the Cowboys trying to get accomplished? Like, I could watch the Eagles on offense on the first 2 drives of the game and go, I know what they're trying to do. They're going in 2 tight end sets. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to run some play action off of it. They're going to have a few drop back, like 6 and 7 yard throws just to kind of stay ahead of the chains. That was their game plan. That was it all day. There was a few third downs. Okay, they got into 3 wide receiver sets, but for the most part of the day, they were going to keep Ertz and Goddard on the field, okay, with the 2 receivers and the running back. And if they didn't do that, it was going to be tight end, 2 receivers with the 2 running backs, Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. But they had a plan of attack to work on. And what that does for everybody out there is like, okay, now you're 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. You could start to get in certain formations. Oh, this is how they're going to play us today. Okay, well, we know the Cowboys are going to only play this coverage or that coverage. So now let's come up with some creative ways that we might like to game plan against this or that coverage, along with some of our staples within our offense that we go, okay, yeah, we run these every week, but this is good versus coverage and what they do this week in this specific game plan. So that's the issue. So the players, did they let them down? Yes. But my big issue with the Cowboys is the schematics of how they coach never gives their players much of an advantage. You've heard me say that. It's just too much of that.
Did we heap too much praise on to Kellen Moore too early?
But
we were giving him a lot when the 3-0 start.
Yeah, well,
the offense was high flying. I mean, the offense for most of the year has rated number 1.
It's the number 1 offense in football right now. But there's something. What it tells you is there's something wrong there too. The points don't always match the yardage output. So there's something there within the game plan, punching it in the end zone, how to manage certain games. That's not translating to wins, and that's happening on both sides of the ball. And to me, yesterday was one of those things where, like I said, the Eagles came out and had a plan, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to attack it, and we're going to stay with it, and we're going to be patient with it. And then the Cowboys just come out going, let's just run our plays, and then we'll see what works, and then if that works, we'll try to stick with it. And nothing works. So then it's just, oh, we're in the shotgun. Oh, we're underneath the center. We're underneath the center. We ran for 8 yards. Oh, we're right back to the shotgun. Why would we keep doing that? That was too easy. That's 8 yards. We're cool. We're Dallas. Let's get in the shotgun. Oh, yeah, now you're punting. I mean, Dallas is frustrating. I don't know what other way to say it.
What do you think of their usage of Ezekiel Elliott, 13 carries in this game?
Not enough.
He's had some huge games this year where they have relied on him, but then there were also some times in this game against Philadelphia where he was off the field in some crucial spots.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's another spot that pisses me off. Okay, so there they are, the Cowboys playing underwhelming football. They're down 10-6. They get the ball to start the second half. They drive down the field. Ezekiel Elliott has 2 really good runs, and I'm going, okay, here we go. Let's stick with this, because when they got in the I formation and ran the ball downhill, there was a little success there. But they never really tie it together or stay patient with it and keep doing it. So he does that. He rips off like a run for 10 and a run for 8. On the first run, Fletcher Cox gets hurt. So they have an injury timeout. Then he has a run on the second down. He takes a big hit. Okay, so he got a first down. Fletcher Cox got hurt, excuse me. They have a little injury timeout.
Yeah.
The next run, he gets 8 yards. He comes out of the game. He takes a big hit. Okay, second down goes for nothing. Third down now is we got Dak Prescott underneath the center, and they run an option to the left and pitch it to Tony Pollard. He fumbles. To me, again, that just goes into like the category of, no, it's the biggest play of the season. Like, he's your number 1 paid player on your team. He has to be in the game. And that was a huge moment of the game because they're in field goal range nonetheless. They have a little momentum with how they went into halftime. They cut that to 10-9. Who knows what happens? But instead, nothing happens, and it kind of becomes a stalemate and everything like that. So, to me, yes, Ezekiel, it hasn't been as good. Dak Prescott wasn't good yesterday. Receivers let them down. All those things, we can talk about it all. But I still think it goes back to the tying of the game plan together. They do nothing to hang your hat on. They never do anything to you go, whoa, when they get in this formation, they're killing us. We have to adjust how we're playing. And that's what good offenses do. You don't see like Tom Brady in New England getting the fullback like I formation and run for 10 yards and then go, let's not run that for 10 plays.
Right.
They go, let's do it again. Let's do something off it. Oh, now they're starting to force that. We're starting to force their hand into a defense they don't want to play. Now's the play action. There's none of that.
It's almost
in
like
Dallas.
They have a fetish with variety.
Variety.
They don't want to get.
I call it a Rolodex. It's a Rolodex.
Sure.
It's just like, I like this play during the week. Let's call it. I like this one too during the week. Okay, that's great. But tying plays together are what master offensive coordinators do. Sean Payton, Shanahan, McDaniels, they have certain formations and plays that start off looking the same, that are different or have tweaks and whatever it may be, and they screw a defense over.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got to say about that.
And that was a lot.
Okay.
And Amari Cooper got 12 targets, just 4 catches. He's had some weird games where he just doesn't.
Yeah, he's not healthy all the way.
Up. Yeah, you think that's part of it?
I do think that's part of it. I think he's battling some injuries, definitely. But yeah, just a bad day by the Dallas Cowboys. And then, like I said, when the coaching staff doesn't give them a schematical advantage, it's an underwhelming performance.
So then Jay Amunde asks you. You have 3 decisions to fix the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, I mean, you're
All 3.
Well,
first thing you do to fix it. First thing you do to fix the Cowboys. What would it be?
I'm firing the coaching staff. I mean, I am.
Okay.
It's run its course. I really like Jason Garrett. I do. I mean, anybody that knows me knows I do. I know him. Yes. And it's not always easy for me to say these things. I say these things sometimes on air and on TV and on the podcast, hoping somebody will tell them, going, hey, that asshole, Chris Simms, he keeps saying, you guys got to tie some things together on offense or change it up on defense a little bit. That's why I say it sometimes, hoping that people will hear it. But yeah, I think that's the first thing that has to be done is, an overall overhaul of the whole coaching staff.
It's feeling like it's a 95% chance that will happen. Are you getting that sense too?
Yes. I don't.
Jerry's been reluctant up to this point. There's certainly been times in the past. They haven't had a successful playoff run in a long, long, long time. There's been times that they could have moved on from Jason Garrett, but they haven't.
No, they haven't. I think this is the year, though. I think he's realized this is the year. If they don't make the playoffs next week, he gets fired the next day. It might be Sunday night when they land back in Dallas. It won't be long. If they do get in the playoffs, well, okay, of course, he's going to let it ride, and he's going to see. And if maybe Jason Garrett can get to the NFC Championship game, maybe he can save his job.
Win a Super Bowl or get to the NFC Championship game or bust?
I think it's NFC Championship game. And some people think that he needs to actually get to the Super Bowl, too.
And so I feel like you think that one decision could fix a lot of
things. I don't have 3 decisions right now to talk about. Listen, there's not a lot on their roster they need.
I got 3. Fire the head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
Yes, right. Sure, there you go.
Special teams coordinator can stay.
Right. Yeah. Well, the offensive coordinator too. Like I have no problem with Kellen Moore. The plays, like you talked about earlier, the offense has gotten better. But to me, again, you got to have a theme or something to hang your hat. What are the Dallas Cowboys great at? Well, what are they great at? You tell me. I mean,
making a lot of money.
Well, yeah, that's it, right? Because they have no theme to their offense. We just go, well, they got talent. But, what are they? They are a great running offense, a great passing offense? I don't know. They're just really good at all of it, I think, but nothing great.
Certainly a weird team all throughout the year, which the Philadelphia Eagles have been a weird team, too, because their team we thought was going to be better, and their stretches that have been bad maybe haven't been as bad as we thought, and they're perhaps going to hit their stride once again when it matters the most. A question from Kevin Kelly says, the Eagles are going to end up in the NFC Championship game, right?
No.
I mean, it does feel like.
But they're scary.
The one thing that we just all agree is not going to happen somehow is going to happen.
Well, they're scary, and I understand what at Kevin Kelly is thinking here because, I mean, Peterson has got a great way about him. He instills confidence in his team. Like our buddy says here, Peterson rolls the dice. Yeah, he's not afraid.
I added that in there.
Oh, okay. All right. But he's not afraid. He'll roll the dice. Yeah. The team believes in him. He believes in the team. He always says the right thing. Wentz is on fire. I mean, Wentz is carrying the team. I mean, there's no other way to say. I'm glad for Carson Wentz right now because I feel like it has got a lot of the haters off of his back.
Well, you've been saying that for a while.
Yeah,
because
he's
the
talented.
Quarterback. A lot of times you've said this. We want to point the blame at the quarterback when they're performing poorly, and we want to give them too much praise when they're performing well.
Yeah.
You, for the past 2 months, have said Carson Wentz is not the problem.
He is not the problem. Definitely not. And they have finally found the right formula through all the injuries and underwhelming people they have on the offensive side of the ball that go, okay, it's not beautiful, but but it works. We're going to use Ertz and Goddard and Goddard and Ertz and Ertz and Goddard, and then Sanders and Scott and Sanders, and that's all they do. And they're just finding a lot of different ways to throw the ball to those 4 guys, and then every now and then it's a change up to one of the receivers, and that's all there is to it. But they're dangerous. They're scary.
You host a playoff game. You're going to be a division winner if you win, and Dallas. So if they both win out, Philadelphia is obviously moving on. There is a chance that the Cowboys could still make it if they win. The Eagles lose. Chances are, it looks like the Eagles are going to be hosting a playoff game. So you get one game at home.
At home, in the cold weather, on the grass in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia is not a fast team. They're more predicated, I would say, on size. They're scary.
Can they beat Seattle? Yeah.
Yes.
Can they beat Minnesota?
They almost beat Seattle a few weeks ago at home. So, yeah, they can beat Seattle. Seattle threw a flea flicker for a touchdown. That was one of their only big play of the day. Yes, they can definitely do that. The big thing that the Eagles have for them, especially when it comes to a wild card matchup, too, is, there's nobody that's just going to overpower them on either side of their offense or defensive line. So that's going to keep them in a lot of games. As long as Wentz continues to play the way he's doing and takes care of the ball and just makes that occasional big throw or big play, they're going to be annoying in the playoffs. Do I expect them to make a run? No, I don't this year, because I think that there's just better teams than them this year in the NFC playoffs.
Anything more you want to say about the Eagles or Cowboys?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Christmas question.
Whoa.
This one's coming from Paulie Dobson. Does the Simms household open their presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day morning?
Ooh, good question.
Is that a thing?
Paulie Dobson.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, some families do Christmas Eve.
I've heard like one present.
That's kind of what we do.
Okay.
We do that. We're a one present on Christmas Eve. Like, kids are getting ready to go to bed. They hung their stockings up.
So how does that work?
Here's one present.
Do they pick the present, or do you give them one?
No, the wife usually picks it. Yeah, one that's,
a lower tier present.
Right. You can't give them like the whole shebang on Christmas Eve, right?
No.
Yeah, so you got to pick that right one. That's okay. It's kind of exciting, but we got 4 or 5 the next morning that are better for you.
And how much Christmas shopping have you done yourself personally?
Absolutely zero.
You've done zero.
Zero.
Well, you're right in the middle of football season.
Yeah,
so
well, it's a little tough.
Yourself.
I mean, I can't do it all, okay? I can't do it. Can't pay for it. Can't shop for it. Can't do it all, okay? Yeah, sorry.
My wife this year, I'm kind of in the same boat, because it's been a crazy year. You know, moving here to Connecticut and all that stuff. But she's in the same boat where she has a list of 5 things, and she goes, I'll just go get it. I'll wrap it, and the kids will watch me open it.
Yeah.
And they'll be from you.
Yeah.
But the facade is there that we're a family that does Christmas the right
yeah,
way.
right. Oh, my wife kind of says the same thing too. She's like, oh, don't worry about buying me anything. I've already got myself this and this and that. So
yeah.
Okay, great. Yes. You got what?
And
yes. Okay. I won't buy you anything.
And I was having this conversation with my wife too. Is that I feel like it's gotten different here over the last few years, because if you want something now, it's so easy to order it on Amazon, go pick it up yourself. It feels like we don't wait for Christmas anymore.
No.
Right?
Well, you're right. And then the other thing is everything that we do in our household, like my wife gets the alerts on the phone. So I'm always like, okay, if I go buy her gifts with the American Express, she gets an alert to say, like, what's been charged there right away.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going to be like, oh, yeah. Well,
your husband has bought you something you're not going to like.
Yeah, you're right. Yes,
tell him to take it back.
Right, exactly right. And I feel like that kind of ruins the surprise, too.
All right, let's go over to the 49ers now.
Yep.
And this is our Verizon moment of the week.
Yeah.
Now we have the best of Week 16 presented by Verizon, the network more people rely on. This was a really good game. 49ers looking good once again. That offense shows up in a big way in crucial moments. We've seen them have a lot of them at the end of a game.
Definitely.
They did it once again. This one comes from Lou 49 Bell. Says, what happened on the second 3rd and 16 on the final drive of the 49ers game? How did Sanders get so open?
Yeah, right. It's a great question. And you and I just watched this play, right?
Did.
We watched it together.
You want to describe it?
Well, yeah. So basically, it's 3rd and 16, and I think the first thing that needs to be noted, is like Jimmy Garoppolo here again. We're questioning about Jimmy Garoppolo in the clutch. Can he carry them when they need it? I think he's answered that question now. Week 16, he's not fazed by these moments. He comes out firing. But, yes, it's 3rd and 16. 2 receivers to the left, 2 backs in the backfield. One of those backs is Kittle as a tight end, receiver to the right. And really, kind of a basic route combination that the 49ers do a lot is like the receiver on the right runs like a little outside curl route. Then the guy running down the middle goes to like 17 yards and turns around because he's going to get the first down, right? And then the outside guy can sometimes run like a 20-yard out route. Well, here's a play where the Rams rush 5, and they're basically playing 2-man, as you and I saw when we just watched the film back. Playing 2-man, Jalen Ramsey is outside of Emmanuel Sanders, and he's comfortable there. He lets Emmanuel Sanders come off the ball, and he's going to trail Emmanuel Sanders because he knows he has a safety over the top.
It almost appeared he didn't react to the snap. Like, you can see the snap has happened. He's still standing there.
Yeah,
there
because
are people on Twitter
right.
that say that that's when your controller dies playing Madden. It's like you can no longer control your controller.
He's totally comfortable. He's letting the guy beat him down the field because he wants to trail him. And I want to go back one more picture there if we can, because I think the thing to show there, too, the biggest thing, and I hope you're watching on YouTube, is when Emmanuel Sanders does come off the ball right away. Now look at, you can see 24, Taylor Rapp, right?
Yep.
He's their second-round pick, I believe, out of Washington.
Yep, the rookie.
He is going wide, right? It's two-man. It's two deep safeties that are going to go, to the deep half of the field. But now as we get to the next picture, and now Emmanuel Sanders is a good 10 yards down the line of scrimmage, as you see here, Jalen Ramsey's right in his left pocket, Emmanuel Sanders. He's not far behind him.
Not for long.
No, not for long. And Taylor Rapp, as you see, was still running to the sidelines. And within doing that, who is he guarding way out there? Look at now this picture here. He's 5 yards from the sideline. Emmanuel Sanders acted like he was going to run like a deep out route and then kind of leaned his body out and bam, runs to the post, okay? And Jalen Ramsey, who's really playing for the out route or maybe an in cut for like an 18-yard throw or something like that, all of a sudden he realizes, whoa, this guy's going straight on the post route and my safety's not there. So he has to turn it on to try to catch up. But I think ultimately, hey, did Jalen Ramsey maybe trail a little too much behind? Sure, okay. But Taylor Rapp's the one to blame here. He ran to no man's land. I don't know why he aggressively ran so far to that sideline that opened up the middle of the field to, the 49ers had the right play, dialed up the right time. I'm sure Shanahan through the week saw that they do this at times. And I think Shanahan knew, okay, I'm going to run this play to the rookie side, not to Eric Weddle's side, because we saw on the other side, Ahmed, when we watched it, that Eric Weddle didn't go nearly as wide. Yeah. So if they ran the post to that side, he was going to run right into Eric Weddle. So Taylor Rapp just overplayed it. You saw there in the end, Ramsey and Rapp kind of yelling at it. Rapp didn't really fight back with the conversation to me, which tells you he's going like, oh, yeah, man, I messed up. And Ramsey was really pissed off. So I think I would bet on Jalen Ramsey being more right in that situation. I've never seen that coverage played that way. So that, to me, would either be a nuance they put in for the game or Taylor Rapp was just way too aggressive thinking they were going to run a certain route instead of like the old saying of do your job. Don't do too much. Don't overthink it. You're supposed to be here. Don't think, oh, they might go here, so I'm going to go there. No, that's not what you do.
It was almost like he was trying to anticipate. And
a deep out route or something. Exactly right.
That was cool. Huge play for the 49ers, a couple 3rd and 16s. That was a big one. That was the best of Week 16 presented by Verizon.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Way to go.
And you did a good job of not swearing during that, which I feel like is they don't like that, so that was good.
Good, because I sweared last week, I think I did.
And we had, bleep it out.
Oh, okay, great.
Send a letter. We sent a letter to them.
Send a letter to them, yep.
Send them a gift basket.
It's tough. I know nobody swears on Verizon phones.
Let's stick with the 49ers. This one comes from King Ferry 78.
Yeah.
So he said, why is your boy Kyle still trying to run the ball with Tevin Coleman? Let Breida, Mostert, or even Wilson run it. Coleman has been a disappointment in the second half of the season. So what do you think of that? It does seem to be there like a rotation where you're going to get the Breida 3 games, and you're going to get Wilson for a couple games.
Well, Breida's got injury issues.
He does, but he did play on special teams, and so he's not totally out.
Yeah.
You do wonder if it's just the riding a hot hand with Mostert right now. But what do you think of that with Tevin Coleman, what you've seen from him?
Well, I don't look at it that way. I don't. I think that Tevin Coleman has still got great value. Tevin Coleman, I feel like gets a little bit more of the meat and potatoes of the run plays sometimes. And sometimes you get a little unlucky to where, okay, you're in the game and coach calls this run play, and then the next drive later, the coach calls a really cool game plan design run play, and you just happen not to be in the game, and Mostert's in. So I don't know. I don't have anything where I look at it and go, oh, Tevin Coleman's an issue with that team.
He only had 5 carries in the game. Mostert
had 11. Right, yeah. I mean, and again, that was a pretty good athletic front 7 that they played as far as the Los Angeles Rams. And, they never got the run game going to the point that we've seen them get it going during the season. They never got it to Gashville, like you're like, oh my gosh, it's 10 yards, it's 5 yards, whatever. But again, I have no problem with the way Tevin Coleman plays. I don't. Yeah. I don't look at it that way. I just think they played a team that was desperate the other night and knows what they like to do, and there's a lot of familiarity with the coaching staffs, and they were honed in on some of the run game stuff. I
do give the Rams credit. They're not going to make the playoffs this year.
But they play hard,
right? You called that. You said that they were not going to make the playoffs at the beginning of the year. Yeah. But there were times where it looked like it really could go south for them. Yeah. Offensively. Defensively, they were always strong, did give up a ton of points in this game. But I give them credit. I think they finished the year pretty strong.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, it's not easy what they've done. I mean, you go to the playoffs, then the next year you go to the Super Bowl, you lose the Super Bowl. Hey, these are all the other 31 teams are all professionals and being paid a lot of money too. They're not just going to go like, oh gosh, it's the Rams. We can't play in this division. I mean, the Seahawks and 49ers are real. It's the toughest division in football. And yeah, the Rams with Gurley and that issue, Goff having hot and cold moments, some injuries on the O-line, things like that. It just hasn't been their best year. This is the first year in the McVay area where I saw them get steamrolled twice, where I just never saw that before. With the Ravens game and the Cowboys last week, I never saw them get steamrolled like that. And that, to me, not only tweaks on your roster, but probably needs to be tweaks in your approach on the coaching side of the ball, too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Beef up that offensive line in the offseason. Yeah. Come back, make another run.
And I still think McVay has to do more on offense. It's just the speed sweep, the 11 personnel, one back, one tight end, three receiver stuff all the time. People have caught on to what he's trying to do there. And I do think there needs to be a little more versatility.
One more 49ers question. This one coming from Hall Club Lambs. What is wrong with the Niners D?
Yeah.
Does Tartt play a bigger role than the media lets on? So that is, they're talking about Jaquiski Tartt.
Jaquiski Tartt, yes.
Who there's been some controversy because it's spelled like Jaquiski.
I know. I've said Jaquiski for the first 2 years in his league, but it's Jaquiski.
You know what? We went deep diving to find the answer, and you're right.
Yeah.
Scott Kegley, who was working with the 49ers back in 2015, I don't know if he's still there or not, but says it's pronounced Jaquiski.
Yes, Jaquiski Tartt,
So you were scolded when you said Jaquiski.
I said Jaquiski a few times early on in his career, and I can't remember who told me. Somebody told me it's Jaquiski, and it stuck with me.
Yeah. And they're like, why? It's not spelled like that at all.
No, well, I mean, who gets
He's wrong. I'm right, he's wrong.
Spelling is never, you can never trust that with a name. But okay, here's the issue with the 49ers D. First off, Jaquiski Tartt is, yes, one of the best strong safeties in football. So is that an issue? Yeah. For a defense that plays a Seattle scheme, Jaquiski Tartt plays the Cam Chancellor role. That's the most important role on the defense. It's a safety playing a linebacker's job, but yet being asked to do coverage things that a safety does, and also, when they run the ball, we'd like you to be a linebacker and stop people that way. So are they missing him? Yes. Are they missing DJ Jones, who you've heard me talk about, one of their D tackles that's out for the year? That is huge. No D Ford in the lineup right now. And my biggest thing with the 49ers D, is what's our man's name at Hull Club Lambs? The 49ers fall into the category of they play the Seattle scheme, okay? And again, how many teams in football play the Seattle scheme right now? All right, let me just kind of go over this. Right now, the Colts, they do. The Chargers, they do. The Jaguars, they do, okay? That's the AFC. Now the NFC. The 49ers play the same scheme. The Seattle Seahawks play that scheme, of course. The Dallas Cowboys play that scheme. The Atlanta Falcons play that scheme. So there's 7 teams in the NFL that play that scheme. Over the last few years, everybody's played this defense. And it's just not enough. It's just like what I say about Dallas. It's just not enough. You know what you're getting. And without those players, their talent could overwhelm you. When you have 5 first-round picks and D Ford and Bosa and the 2 Oregon guys are coming up the middle in your face all the time, I don't give a shit what you play in the back end. It's going to be tough sledding against those 4 coming after you. But 1 or 2 get hurt, and all of a sudden one's got to play out of position because DJ Jones is hurt, and now you're not getting to rest the same, and Jaquiski Tartt's not playing, and Richard Sherman, he's banged up, and all these issues. Yeah. It's going to lead to our offenses picking apart this defense.
What if I said fully healthy, that's the right defense for the 49ers to run?
Yeah.
Once they get hurt, though, it's not.
No.
It's difficult to switch it up midway through. But would you buy that? The fact that
yes.
fully healthy with the talent they have, it's okay running that defense.
It's okay running that defense, right? Because their talent is so superior that they can get there with their front four. They can play it almost conservative on the back end. You know, the beauty of that defense is, yeah, you don't mess up a whole lot, right? And then you also start to learn through years of doing it, wait, everybody tries to run this play on us because they think it exposes us. So you start to learn the plays that beat you on it.
Yeah.
So, yes, but if that's, you got to be healthy and experienced that way and all that way. But, yeah, as soon as there's injuries and a few of the top-end talent guys are hurt, the defense falls off.
So we got the huge game on Sunday night now with 49ers and Seahawks.
Yeah.
Winner gets the first round bye. The loser is a wild card team. Which
49ers are going to win that game. I'm just telling you right now.
This is not the prediction podcast,
well,
but you're ready to go there.
I am. I've been saying this for 2 weeks. And
in Seattle.
Yep.
Very tough for the 49ers traditionally to do that.
Yep, I get you. You know,
what makes you so confident? All
well,
the injuries?
Seattle ain't that great on offense. I mean, at home this year. Okay,
that is true. Three losses, right?
Right. They're 4-3, right? Okay, so that's the first thing that I want to say. And then Seattle defense. The reason they were so vaunted at home was because their defense with that crowd noise. Nobody's scared of Seattle's defense right now. I mean, you saw what Arizona did to them yesterday. And let me just say this too. This is the other thing I want to go over. You know, this is where we're being misled by what we saw for the game against the first time around, the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers. The Seattle Seahawks, they ended up the game with like 336 total yards of offense, all right? But it was really nowhere. There was 3 drives in overtime. At the end of regulation, it was like a 220-something yard day. And I don't have the exact stats around me, but it was right around there. At the end of 4 quarters, they did nothing on offense. And I just want to remind everybody, their first touchdown, 10-yard fumble return by Jadeveon Clowney, who is not even playing right now. Their second touchdown, 3-play, 16-yard drive. Why? Jerron Reed caused a fumble, and Jadeveon Clowney, I think, recovered that one. All right, so there's a 3-play, 16-yard drive. They've done nothing on offense, and they're up 14-10, right? Then the next drive is a 4-play, 24-yard drive because they had an interception returned down to the 24-yard line. So, you know, and then an 11-play, 47-yard drive at the end of regulation to go up by 3. So that's, to me, what scares me. You know,
49ers defense has probably gotten worse since that game.
It definitely has. You're right about that. And I don't know, the Seahawks offense has gotten worse since that game too. So I think that's fair to say. Plus, I don't think it's realistic to win the way they did, and especially Jadeveon Clowney not being healthy right now. I just don't see how they can pull this off.
So Derek DeBear is talking about that Seahawks offense and says, who should Seattle Seahawks get in at running back? Because, Carson who got hurt, Procyse hurt, Dwayne Brown is hurt. Now, they got a lot of guys on the line there. So this is Penny has been out. So running the ball could be very difficult for them. There is a report that there is interest.
Yeah, I get it.
With Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
Who played last year, caught 90 carries for him last year. And I'm just getting something hot off the presses here from Matt
Really
Casey.
good chance.
Pete Carroll, the headline says, will give Marshawn Lynch a really good chance to play for us.
Wow.
Wow. So he is taking a physical with the team. The quote is, he'll be flying in here tomorrow morning. We're going to give him a really good chance to come back and play for us. I think it's freaking great if he can get back out there and tote the ball for us, he said while chomping on a piece of gum.
Well, yeah, of course he was. So that's 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, that's the first guy that makes sense. I mean, nobody else even really makes sense. I did think of like C.J. Anderson because I don't know if he's on a roster right now. Maybe I'm wrong. I couldn't remember. But first off, Marshawn is the kind of beast where, like, he doesn't have to play a full season and he can come in and play and you'd be like, well, he looks pretty good. I mean, he took a year off and came to the Raiders, and I went, holy cow, he hasn't really missed a beat. He still looks really great that way. So I get that. Man, do they need him. They're in trouble, too, right now. You know, with the injuries on the O-line, the injuries at the running back position, as you see yesterday, when they can't run the ball, their pass game is underwhelming. It's just not creative enough. They're so dependent, Ahmed, about being able to run the ball, dominate the line of scrimmage. Okay, now we got to worry about stopping the run, and now it's a play-action pass and DK Metcalf's one-on-one or Tyler. Right. That's what they want to do to you. But when they have no run and the team never has to, like, go, oh, we got to stop it, when they can play pass defense primarily, The Seahawks pass offense is just not creative enough that way to beat, defenses. They're really not. As awesome as Russell Wilson is, they need to help him out. Just like I talk about the Cowboys players and defense and all that, they need to help Russell Wilson out with some creative game plan design sometimes just to get that offense going. I don't always see that there.
We do say that a lot, and Russell Wilson was in the MVP conversation at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it seems like when it goes south, we do blame the offensive line or scheme.
Right.
Do we give Russell Wilson a free pass sometimes when this team underperforms, or do you think that those legitimate concerns are there because there are some problems with the offense?
I think so. I feel like, the guy that just dropped off the paper there, Matt Casey, he's always thinks that Russell Wilson doesn't get enough criticism, but he's kind of a hater on Russell Wilson, so I can't really listen to him.
Yeah.
Correct is right, was what Pete DiMoleta said.
You'd rather have Russell Wilson than not have him, and most of the time he will make it.
100%. 100%.
Okay, so let's go to another question here. This one comes from Latino NFL.
What up, Latino NFL?
Says, is Chandler Jones having a great season, or are his numbers a little bit inflated?
Yeah, well, he's had a few games of where he just went off,
Wilson.
right?
Yeah, he's had two 4-sack games this year. He has a new franchise record of 19 on the season.
Yeah.
That's Defensive Player of the Year. Numbers. Is he overrated?
No, I don't think he's overrated. I think he's one of the best edge defenders in the sport. He's amazing. And in fact, I would say he's underrated because, he's on a team that's just not on the radar of the national media on a week-to-week basis. And certainly the defense is not like special statistically to where people take notice. But, since he's left New England and went to Arizona, he's been phenomenal every year for the Arizona Cardinals. He's definitely one of the best pass rushers in all of football. He's good against the run. You saw what he does yesterday, not even the sacks, but then ran downfield when he was in a blitz zone coverage, stripped David Moore that helped them recover a fumble that way. So, no, I do not think Chandler Jones is overrated. Okay. Do I think he's like a superstar? The best pass rushers in football right now, really, actually, I do. As I start to think about it and think about, like, the top pass rushers in the sport right now. Like, I just want to make sure I'm thinking of the right ones here. Hey, Von Miller, I think Von Miller's lost a step, in my opinion, too, to where I don't think he's exactly the same. But do I think he's in the class of Shaquille Barrett, Cameron Jordan, T.J. Watt, Daniel Hunter, Joey Bosa, Dante Fowler? Absolutely. Bud Dupree, Robert Quinn. Yes, he's in their class, every bit as good and if not better in certain years.
All right, so that's we're going to talk a little bit Defensive Player of the Year in a second. I think he might be up there for you. Don't give it away yet.
Okay.
Two more Christmas questions here. This one has to do with eggnog, which I was never a big eggnog guy until my wife bought it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Is it really good?
You've never had it?
I don't think I've really ever had it. They kind of lost me at egg and nog, okay?
so
that's kind of sounds kind of gross, all right?
You reject the whole word. Yeah, if you've never thought of just, I'm going to have some nog.
Let me have some chicken in a cup with some nog in it.
What does that mean?
Well, that's what an egg is. It's a chicken.
Okay,
You know that? That's what you're eating every morning, just so you know.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Never heard that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Before.
I'm just all you egg lovers out there. I don't like eggs.
Let me just lay out right here because I'll edit it.
Yeah.
Okay, now pick it up again.
Why are we editing that? Is chicken?
Because it threw me off.
We better not.
Garnett 478. So he says alcoholic or non-alcoholic eggnog. You would say neither. I would say alcoholic.
I want to try eggnog.
It's good.
It is good?
I'm telling you. I didn't have it.
You try it non or with some alcohol in it?
They've both been alcoholic, I think.
What do they put in it? A little whiskey?
No
what
idea.
Is it that
There's
goes
like
in
a little
there?
cinnamon and vanilla. Oh, the alcohol part of it? I don't know what it is.
Right.
Oh, but that's our
rum.
next question is from Ernest Vasquez Jr. What's your preferred liquor for eggnog? So, Ernest, we would like to know from you, actually.
Yeah.
Rum, we're hearing, is a very popular item you put in eggnog.
Gotcha. I like to put vodka and ice and 2 limes, and then I take the eggnog out and I just drink it that way.
That's my Christmas drink. The eggnog.
That's what I do. It's Christmas time. And I like to smoke the marijuana and drink Chopin on the rocks.
We'll get to that too.
Okay?
So eggnog, try it. Try some eggnog.
All right. If I have
good.
it around this weekend, I will try it. There's probably a good chance my wife will have it there for everybody else.
Drinking it does feel like it's incredibly bad for you. Like very fattening, probably high in calories, high in sugar.
Yeah.
So it does seem incredibly poor for you.
Healthy energy drink you have at your feet.
No, I poured it out.
Oh,
I poured it out on the floor so I wouldn't consume it. So that's our eggnog thoughts. To Chiefs thoughts now.
Right.
A team on the rise.
Right.
A team that.
Will
Chris
you drink
Simms,
the next 2 days during Christmas at all?
Yeah,
you
I will.
What would
I'm
be
kind
your
of
drink?
Like a whiskey, kind of like a Maker's Mark kind of guy.
Okay.
Used to be beer, but then it was too much liquid for me.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
too
too much.
You get bloated.
And you can't eat.
Super fast.
Yeah,
and you're right.
Right.
You can't eat all the good foods.
Right.
So I'll drink a little bit, yeah.
Cool.
A little bit. I'll celebrate in
All
style.
right, cool. I just want to make sure.
Drink to the Chiefs because they are looking like a legitimate Super Bowl team. This one comes from Aussie Chiefs fan. Can Mahomes and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl without getting the bye and a 1-2 seed?
Wow. Aussie Chiefs fan. I like it.
Aussie. We got fans from all over.
I don't mean that to be offensive. I'm just being funny.
No, we'll have to bleep that too. No.
But the to answer at Aussie Chiefs fan question, yeah, I do. I think they can get to the Super Bowl without being the 1 or 2 seed. I mean, would I prefer them to have the 1 or 2 seed? Certainly. But do I think like Kansas City can win a home wild card game against whoever it may be? And right now it could be the Titans, the Steelers, or the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Absolutely. And I honestly think in the AFC, they're the 2 worst matchups. They're the worst matchup for the Ravens or the Patriots. Those teams I just don't feel like match up very well with Kansas City. For this being the reason, we saw a little bit what Kansas City did to New England a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Plus, New England likes to play man-to-man. It's hard to play man-to-man against all those weapons that the Chiefs have that way. The Chiefs have size up front. They can stop the run game. And I don't know if you heard last night, and I said this on our podcast the day after the Chiefs-Patriots game. I said this, and Mahomes, I guess, said it to Chris Collinsworth. He said it was the worst game of his career. It was. It was the worst game of his career, and they were up 23-7 and had the ball at the midfield, and you're going, uh-oh, they're going to blow the Patriots out. So I do think they can, and there's a reason they've beaten the Ravens the last 2 years as well, because they do have enough size up front, and like I said, for 2 defenses that want to be aggressive and put people at the line of scrimmage and do all of that, it's a really scary formula to do against the Kansas City Chiefs.
So Jeff Roebuck asks you, are the Chiefs the only team that has a shot against the Ravens in the AFC playoffs? You think they have a shot against them in Baltimore?
I do. I think they definitely have a shot against them in Baltimore. I don't think they're going to be fazed by that matchup one bit. I really don't. So whether they have to play Baltimore in the AFC Championship game or the divisional round, there's no doubt that I think they're made for – I think they're a tougher – physically and mentally team this year than they were last year. Their defense does more. It's more creative. They're a little more talented. Okay? I like that aspect. And then as you watched the game last night, they're running the ball with a little more patience.
Sure.
They have more underneath pass game than years past, okay? And I think, Mahomes understands the full scope of what his team is trying to do, and I do. I look at them as being a team to watch out for here.
So we were talking before the show, and there might be some similarities to that 2006 Colts team that was defensively very porous throughout the whole year. Pete was looking at the stats, and they gave up 173 rushing yards per game.
Yeah.
That was the worst in the NFL.
They had a few-game run where they just got gashed in the run game.
Most by any team this century. So they were terrible. They get into the playoffs, and then they're giving up, I think it was like 83 yards per game, which would have been 3rd best in the NFL that season.
Yeah.
They totally turned it around. Are we seeing the Chiefs do the same thing? Because now they've given up 3 points to the Bears, 3 to the Broncos, 16 to the Patriots, 9 to the Raiders before that.
Right.
The defense is peaking at a really interesting time for them.
Definitely. It's honestly, it's been good for me since before the bye week where they beat the Chargers in Mexico City, and even the week before that against the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, I understand, scored 35 points. I get it. But their defense played well that game, too. They had like 2 or 3 just assignment mix-ups. It wasn't where, and people might go, well, they messed up. They let up their – I understand it. But there's a difference to me in like, you guys are getting blown off the ball and getting gashed, and then to oh, it's a stalemate at the line of scrimmage and one guy made a mistake and they happened to cut right there and it was a 70-yard gain. There's a difference in that statistical look to me when I watch a game on film, then rather than the team that's just like, whoa, it's 6 yards, whoa, it's 8 yards. I mean, that's when you go, you're getting obliterated. You're getting physically pounded into the ground. When I go, ooh, it's stalemate, 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 and then a guy rips off a big run, hey, sometimes it might be obliteration, but the times I've seen them do that as of late, it's really been like a mess up in scheme. Like somebody didn't do their job. Somebody like took the cheese on a fake or something like that. So I don't know what your question was, but I like their defense.
Neutral field.
Yeah.
I'm getting the feeling you like Kansas City better than Baltimore right now.
I think if you made me pick the Super Bowl right now, and it's really hard to go against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick right now on Christmas Eve's Eve, I would think we're going to see 49ers Chiefs.
Wow.
Yeah. It's either 49ers Chiefs to me or 49ers Ravens. That's what I think it's one of the two. And yeah, I think I would give the Chiefs the slight edge. And I know a lot of people out there are going to go, that's insane. The Ravens are on fire and haven't lost since September or early October. I get it. But I think the Ravens, the Chiefs are peaking at the right time. You know,
Ravens maybe not quite as tested, too. Yeah, a lot of times you see, and I'm not saying this year, they've been tested this year, but you normally see the progression of, all right, team starts to get its feet under it, and then it's Lamar Jackson emerges as one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and then all of a sudden he's on top. Almost you wonder if it's too much too fast for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, they seem to have their head in the right place,
they do.
I'll say that. And Lamar certainly does.
Bronco Jens. This is a movie question, so you're going to have to do this one. Why am I so bothered that Kevin leaves his mac and cheese uneaten in Home Alone?
Yeah,
you know that scene?
Yeah, I do.
So he's planning out meticulously how to get the two bad guys. Right. He's got the whole booby trap set up. Yeah. He's planned it all out.
And then he looks at the clock and realizes it's a little later, right? And he's got to go.
Mac and cheese, and then the alarm goes. Yeah, the grandfather clock goes off.
Right. And he's like, oh, they're coming.
And he leaves the mac and cheese. He
planned I think that's cue the music.
Here's the picture for our YouTube audience of the battle plan. I mean, look how much time that took. To write out, draw it all out, plan it, buy the supplies for it. So you do all that, and then you make your mac and cheese like 10 minutes too late.
All right. So first off, have you seen this movie?
I actually have seen this movie.
Okay, thank God. If you're going to say this, I'm like, I give up. I don't know where the hell you've been living your whole life. It's a great Christmas movie.
It is.
It is one of my favorites. I certainly will be on in my house here very, very soon. I understand. I'm always bothered by food being left uneaten.
Yeah.
I'm always bothered by it.
Sure.
I mean, I really will stuff myself sometimes because I'm like, man, I got to finish this. This is so effed up to that dead cow or to the other starving people in the world, and I try to finish. This is what I try to do to guilt my kids sometimes. It's just like, hey, there's kids out there that would lick that plate right there. They would love to have that right there. And there you are taking one bite and getting away. It drives me crazy.
And I tell them that all the time, too. They don't listen to me, and so then I eat it, and then that's how my polos get to be too tight.
Right.
And now this polo that I have on right here, last year at this time, was a pretty good fitting polo.
Yeah.
Now it's screaming a bit.
Is it screaming a bit?
Honestly, yeah.
You think so?
It's a little tight, and if I bend over in the wrong way, it hurts.
Well, okay, let's see. Let's also see. Let me just see. Can you stand up for a second?
Yeah, I'll stand up.
Let me just make sure it fits all regulations in here.
So here's the problem.
All right, you're looking good.
My shoulders have gotten a little wider so that when I raise my arms up,
that's what I want to see. That's illegal. That's an illegal shirt.
I know.
Okay, illegal shirt.
I feel it.
Illegal shirt, 15-yard penalty for exposing us all to your hair area.
It wasn't doing that a year ago. But my kids, gosh dang it, don't eat their food, and so then I'm not going to waste. I'm not going to throw away food.
I hear you.
And my wife says, "Why? You're wasting it either way. If you're eating it when you're not hungry, you're wasting it." And I was like, "No, I need to eat this."
Yeah. No, I don't think it's wasting it, even though if you're not hungry and you're still eating it. I don't think it doesn't feel like a waste.
It doesn't feel like a waste.
It's maybe not being totally maximized for its use, but it's not being wasted. Although you have a dog?
Now I have to buy new polos.
That's the other thing, dog would be good for.
We do have a dog, yeah. But then he started to get a little bit big too, so we had to cut him.
You got to buy him some bigger polos.
My whole family, except for my wife, and my kids, have been expanding.
You can't be wearing shirts where when you raise your arms above your head.
Well, it doesn't come up that often, honestly.
It comes up. Well, yes.
I rarely raise my hands above my head, so it doesn't really matter.
You will be now on all our podcasts, so you better get ready.
Shirt check.
I'm going to do a shirt check on you. I promise you.
Okay. It's time for the speed round.
Whoa! Speed round.
We got a speed round here.
Speed rounds.
We got to get a little music. Oh, festive music. I love it.
This makes me go speedy.
Riff Raff 666-999. Who is your current favorite O-line and D-line players? And I would like to note, too, that Riff Raff spelled favorite F-A-V-O-U-R-I-T-E.
Favorite.
Yeah, so I think that's British.
It's French.
French, maybe?
It's French.
Okay, whatever.
Favorite.
So we appreciate that. Another listener from across the pond somewhere.
Oh.
Favorite O-line, D-line players?
Oh, man, this is a good question. And this is not going to help for the speed round. This is not helping.
I know. Here's one
all.
that does take quite a bit of thought.
Okay, so
Matt Judon, do we call him a defensive lineman or
well, yeah,
linebacker?
I mean, I think he can qualify. That's your guy right there.
He's my favorite. You know,
I
Grand
would
Valley
say
State.
Fletcher Cox has usually been my favorite. He's right up there to me.
Has he done anything to lose that status?
It hasn't been as great as a year by him. Like, I love Fletcher Cox and Jadeveon Clowney when they're healthy because they're the ultimate play-up guys. I know Aaron Donald's the ultimate, but I would say those are two guys because I feel like they've never gotten the credit they maybe deserve. I'll tell you, here's another one that jumps out to me. I mean, Chris Jones is probably the other guy on the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. He's really a game wrecker. I like watching him. I'm going to say he's my favorite right now, Chris Jones.
All right.
I'm going to say Chris Jones and the Chiefs as far as my D lineman. And then my O-line cow award goes to, because you know O-linemen are cows, right? You know that. All right, let me just check this out.
Indianapolis Colts.
The Colts
Baltimore
got
Ravens,
some good one. I mean, Quentin
Yanda.
Nelson is in that conversation. Marshall Yanda is really in that conversation. I love me some Bakhtiari. Ooh, man, this is really a good one. No, you know who I think I'm going to go? I'm going to go with the Raiders right tackle, Trent Brown.
Ooh.
I love watching Trent Brown mash people. I mean, he's just a mountain of a human being.
So they didn't overpay for him.
I don't think so. I mean, he's set forth an attitude to their football team, and they can run behind him. Yeah, I think that might be my two favorite right now.
Yeah, all right.
And the Patriots are going to pay him a lot of money too. Don't like think that they were like, oh, this guy isn't good. They wanted to keep Trent Brown. But the Raiders just kind of blew them out of the water. And, you know, Bill, if he thinks you're worth 2 cents, he's not going to pay 3.
That's
he's
true.
just not going to do it.
C.J. Budman.
Good question there. Damn, that had me thinking.
I know.
Akeem Hicks is in that conversation.
And you had to do it fast, too, because you got music
that was
going
not
on.
fast.
C.J. Budman. What kind of gel do you use in your hair?
Ooh, okay, so this is really the first year of my life I've started putting stuff in my hair. I use pomade.
Really?
Pomade.
What have you done before?
I've just said and just let it wing it. This is the first year of my life I've actually put a comb in my hair a few times. I've never even put a comb. This is not a comb, even though it might look like a comb.
Yeah.
It's just fingers.
Right.
I let it dry a little, and I get some pomade.
It did look like fingers when you were
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Pomade, man. I didn't realize. My wife turned me on to pomade. It's pretty strong.
It is. I don't like the shiny. I'm not a shiny look, although this is not very shiny at all. More the dry.
I let it dry a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems to help it out. What do you put in your hair?
Wait, was that NBC mandated? Were they like, dude, if we're gonna come over here and do the podcast here full time, you got to put some gel in your hair? Man.
No, it was not NBC mandated.
You just wanted to do that.
I did. I'm done with my like grow out my hair, let it go everywhere look. I don't know. I've gotten to 39 and I like looking professional.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting it tight on the sides and doing the comb over. That's what I'm doing for now.
I go Beard Brand Temple Smoke Styling Balm. That's my thing right now. I used to do Axe.
Right.
And then now I've gone to this new thing.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it works good.
It's kind of like I try to do the same thing. Messy look.
Yeah, right.
But
you're pulling it off.
Pull it off. Thanks.
Yeah, pomade though.
We got distracted by our hair and pieces speed round. Sorry. Ben Marcus, 1985. Who's the best live band in the world and why is it Phish?
Sorry, it's not Phish.
Oh.
You sure this isn't from one of the guys here that works in at NBC?
Kaminsky,
Yeah, Kaminsky, exactly. Kaminsky loves Phish. Good job by Rob Hyland there. No, they're not my favorite live band in the world, okay? I don't know. I don't really understand the Phish thing. I understand smoking weed and listen to music. I get that. I get it. But that's not one of my favorite ones to listen to. Like jam sessions and that, not my favorite. Right now, live music band, holy crap. Okay, my favorite, I haven't listened to her live, but I love Lana Del Rey. I love Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
I want her to serenade me with her beautiful voice. I love her. Yes, I'm really into this. You know, I like rap, but I'm really into like women singing. Women.
So who? Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey, Sia,
Lizzo.
I was saying that earlier from Saturday Night Live.
You were.
Right. I don't know what it is. There's something about a woman's voice that's very attractive and soothing to me.
It's very
in right now.
I'd much
rather listen to that.
To the Chris Simms ear.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord, even some of those songs. Not that I'm like, Lana Del Rey's the only one out of those I'm buying the album. The other ones I just listen to their like top songs. Like, oh, I like that.
You know, Lady Gaga puts on a really good live show.
No doubt. I would go to that for sure.
I would go to that too.
And her voice is amazing.
All right, that was good. That was a speed round.
Love Lana Del Rey.
Well done.
Yeah, that was a slow speed round, but we did it.
That's fine. Bills-Patriots. So that was another fascinating game. I was convinced the Bills were going to win before that game. Remember that? I was like, they're going to win this game. In New England, they didn't. Although they played pretty well.
They did. They played really well. It's just, you know, they're a team I just look at and go, they're a year away. That's all it is. They're a year away.
You're locked out of your
computer I don't know what
now.
I'm doing here. I'm so sick of the password.
The speed round went so slow that your computer locked you out.
All right, there we go. I think I got it.
Hat or B?
Yeah.
Hat or B? You have any increased faith in the New England O after this week?
Yeah.
Best running game by far this year. Anything you see makes you think they can keep that up?
I do. At Hatorb or at Hatorb.
Hatorb.
Whatever you're trying to say there. I do have increased faith in the New England Patriots. The last 2 weeks, you know, you take it back to the Bengals game. There was effective running in that game, and I thought the pass protection was better. And this past Saturday night, I mean, hey, that's a good front they played in the Buffalo Bills. They ran the ball, and I thought that was the best pass protection all year Tom Brady's had. So again, this is New England. Now, do I think they're going to like ever hit the ground running this year to where they're going to be putting up 30 points a game in the playoffs? No. But as long as they can get to 20 or 24, they're going to win games just about against everybody, except for maybe Kansas City or Baltimore. They might have to score a few more there. But I do feel good about where they're going right now after what I saw the last 2 weeks. I do, definitely.
Sea Terrier 100. Bill Belichick writes constantly in a notebook during the games. Have you ever seen what he writes? And how do the Patriots use what he writes in future games? So he's always over there.
He got a piece of paper and he holds it and he's up there like this.
Brings up the pen. Sometimes he'll look up and check the clock, I think. Yeah, and the score and the situation.
He's writing the situation.
So
whatever his thought is at that moment. I don't know what he's writing. I don't know.
You've never, even when you were with him for a year there, you didn't get access to his notes.
No, you're not going to get access to that. Nobody's going to get access to that. To me, that's probably more, though, in-game adjustments. Or he's writing something down to go, ooh, okay, and this I got to, tell this guy to do that. Or it might be something overarching where he goes, I got to teach this guy to do something better for next week's game, whatever it may be. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but I can promise you for whatever it is, it's smart and being used because nothing goes to waste in New England.
And I love that he writes it down, too.
Yeah.
Because that's like you go to the restaurant and you have the waiter, waitress that just is remembering your order and you always have that uneasy feeling because you're like, you're probably not going to get this exactly right.
Right.
But they have that confidence, that arrogance that I'll remember it. I'm going to remember this whole thing.
Right.
And I think most NFL coaches probably think that. They're like, oh, that's interesting. I'll remember this. Or when I watch tape, I'll just remember this. But Bill's like, you know what? No. I'm going to make sure that I think of this again later on. I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper.
They're masters at not only game to game, but in-game adjustments, all of those things. And it all goes to Bill, Josh McDaniels, Steven Belichick now on the defensive side of the ball, those guys, to understanding what a team is doing to attack them, whether it's through personnel sets or formations, or when we get in a certain personnel set, they're trying to do this. They're very quick. There's nobody better.
Yeah.
Either my year in New England or my year with Josh McDaniels and the Denver Broncos. It's just that's the number one thing that jumped out to me. Oh, those three plays. Oh, they're trying to do this. I'm still like, what? They tried to do what there? I'm still trying to process the last play. And Josh would already, they're attacking us like this. And I'd be like, oh, and I'd look at the pictures and I'd be like, yep, he's right. They are doing that.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Attention
all over
to detail from them.
Staying with the Patriots, Latino NFL, getting another question in here.
Man,
Two very good questions.
I like my man Latino NFL.
Was the 53-yard touchdown to John Brown on Gilmore, or was that on Devin McCourty? Because everyone's putting it on Gilmore, but I think it was McCourty's job.
Okay.
So this was the great play, 53 yards to John Brown, where he just ran by everyone, and then Josh Allen throwing off the back foot, pressured.
Yep.
Gets it out there, perfectly placed. I love this play. It's one of my favorite plays.
So I gotta let me just see if I can find it real quick, okay? Because we'll sit here in live time. Let me see. I think we're probably going to be close. That gave them 17, right? Is that what that did?
So according to Pro Football Focus, by the way, it was the first touchdown that Gilmore had allowed since divisional round playoff game last year against Keenan Allen. I just got that fed to me word by word.
Is that right?
By our producer Pete.
All right, I think I'm close here. Hold on 1 second, and I'll be able to tell you. Okay. Here it is.
You're watching back the whole game. Oh, here's the play.
Here's the play. Okay, so little bunch to the right. Dawson Knox comes in as the outside bunch man to come into a traditional tight end set. Okay, and now Josh Allen runs play action. He fakes a little weak side run to the left side. He kind of boots up, sets up, has pressure in his face, has a guy unblocked first off where he has to pull up. And then Lawrence Guy is beating Dawson Knox, all right? And I think as I look at this play, yes, this is Devin McCourty's fault. No doubt about it. You know, it's man-to-man coverage, all right? Stephon Gilmore knows he has a free safety in the middle of the field. So he's really not going to bite on anything there. See how he's overplaying the out route move?
Right.
He knows, like, if he goes out or runs a corner route or just anything like that, I'm going to be all over it. I got a safety in the middle of the field. I don't need to jump that. But McCourty kind of gets, I think, stuck kind of peeking in the backfield, and out of the corner of his eye, I think he also sees John Brown start to bend out, right? See, when he starts to bend out, you can see McCourty actually takes some steps out that way.
Right.
And then I think before he realizes it, oh no, Josh Allen didn't get sacked and he's about to throw it, it's too late and John Brown's gone by him. So I think this is more Devin McCourty than Stephon Gilmore. I don't think Stephon Gilmore should be that far away there. He certainly could have been in a little bit better coverage, but because of the help he has inside there, I think this is more McCourty. And let me just take one more look, because I'll tell you one other thing that I love to do here. Context clues are huge. I learned this in New England because sometimes you don't know what a team's running, right? And you go, and they used to go, well, who was yelling at each other after the play?
Sure.
Or who was communicating?
Like we just saw with Jalen Ramsey.
Exactly right. And there's, a lot of times those are context clues. So the one thing, McCourty does turn around and look at him, but it wasn't like, what the hell are you doing? I think it was more like, damn, he got me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yes.
If I was a defensive back in the NFL, what I would do every play is I would put my hands up. So that way people at home would think I never screwed up.
Yeah.
So that's all you got to do. You can be an all-pro defensive back if just every time you get burnt, you throw your hands up.
Well, a lot of them do that. Or they do. I mean, there's
even
a lot.
if I say, hey, I'm sorry, man.
Well,
but I do it with my arms up. That way people at home think that I'm
What
yelling
was the
at
Monday Night Football? Xavier Rhodes did it against the Seahawks. Remember? It was his fault. He turned around when the guy first scored the touchdown, like somebody screwed him over. And then he was like, oh, man, I'm burned on TV. Everybody knows it. And he tried to make up with Harrison Smith. But, yeah, that looked more McCourty to me than Stephon Gilmore.
Stay in this game, but another corner. This is from Hits Josh.
Yeah.
Bill's question here. Where do you rate Tre'Davious White among the top corners in the league? His numbers show top 5 easily, but I feel that McDermott's scheme is very cornerback friendly. So is White as good as the numbers say he is?
I don't think he is, no. And that's a really good question. At Hi, it's Josh. First off, I think you're very...
Hi, it's Josh.
Yeah, Hi, it's Josh, yes.
Good one, yeah.
Yep. I think your thoughts are very on point. Tre'Davious White's a really good corner. For me, he's not a top 5 corner. You can't be a top 5 corner unless you can play on the island and shut people down that way. And that's not what Tre'Davious White or the Buffalo Bills do. They play primarily zone coverage. They dabble in man-to-man coverage. And he's a great zone cover corner. He understands what offenses are trying to do. He's really quick in short spaces. He doesn't have great long speed. Like, he's not going to be able to run with, like, Julio Jones down the field on a go route. They're going to run by him eventually.
Yeah.
But his quickness, his acceleration, and short area movements make him really good. And, like, I'm going to stand up at the gym for a second, just one time. Our man John McDonald's gone, but we still got room. But, like, what makes a good zone corner is, like, a lot of the times, like, just the ability, like, oh, okay, they're running a receiver here and they're running a receiver deep. He's great at kind of, like, playing in between, not giving a read to which way he's going. And then when he does get a tell from the quarterback or whatever it may be, his ability to break and start and accelerate is as good as anybody. But I don't think he is. I'm not going to say, you know, this is something I probably need to do here really soon. All right, he's not Marlon Humphrey, Jalen Ramsey, or Stephon Gilmore's class. I think those right off the bat, just in my mind right now, without talking a whole lot, are the best corners in football. I still think the kid Fuller in Chicago is really good. He's not having his best year. I think Byron Jones in Dallas is really good. Just kind of quickly going through. Sorry, I don't mean to be long here. I think William Jackson for the Cincinnati Bengals, when he is healthy, he is phenomenal. Same with Xavier Howard down in Miami. I'm probably missing somebody else here that I should probably hit on. But to me, I certainly would put Gilmore, Ramsey, Marlon Humphrey. Nope. Pete said Patrick Peterson. I'm definitely not putting him on that list right now. You know, listen, J.C. Jackson, he's in the conversation for a top 10 corner in football. But, yeah, I guess Tre'Davious is somewhere in that, to me, somewhere in that maybe that 4 to 8 range. I need to kind of figure that out. Who are the top 5 corners in football to me right now? I'm actually not even sure. Now he's got me intrigued to look it up.
Gilmore, one of the top corners.
Gilmore's one.
Could he be the defensive player of the year? We had the discussion with Chandler Jones earlier. Let's tie that one up. Who's your defensive player of the year so far?
Stephon Gilmore.
It is Gilmore.
I think so. I almost want to say, like, I don't even care if Chandler Jones gets the sack record this week. Like, if he gets 23 sacks and, like, has the all-time single season, I don't know if it still is. To me, the Patriots are the best defense in football. Stephon Gilmore is the best player on that defense. And they can't do what they do on the defensive side of the ball without a guy like him. So, to me, that stands for Defensive Player of the Year or MVP type guy. And that's where, as phenomenal as Chandler Jones is, we've seen some of those sacks have come in like lumps, right, to where he's feasted that way. You know, Stephon Gilmore is a force on a week-to-week basis.
This one is coming from Pete, the producer.
Oh, Jair Alexander probably deserved to be in that conversation. I'm thinking of the corner still.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, give him some love.
Yeah.
We got some breaking news from Adam Schefter. Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph expected to miss Sunday's game against
Broken
Baltimore.
clavicle.
Left shoulder injury per sources. So it's Devlin Hodges as the starter against the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow.
Can they win with Duck as the quarterback?
I mean, they can, yes.
Ravens don't have anything to play for.
Nothing to play for. I know John Harbaugh said they were going to figure out what they were going to do with their starters in that game this morning. I think they need to take the New England approach.
What's that?
And play. Play week 17. You got a week off after that. You need to play, though. I think it's, to go, we're going to play 2 weeks without playing meaningful football and then play the most meaningful game of your year.
Sure.
That's when you're just primed to get upset. And to me, that would be scary. So not that you need to overly game plan. Maybe you take some guys out as the third quarter rolls along. I get that. But I think you need to approach it as a normal week there. And I expect the Ravens to beat the Steelers no matter what, really. As long as they're not totally sitting out the game with their starters, Baltimore, I think they're going to – I just don't know. It's just too hard to play the way the Steelers are playing right now. It's coming back. Reality's coming back.
One more team to talk about.
Yeah.
And this is a team that, for some reason, is a little bit under the radar, maybe. We're not talking about them as much as we have in years past. This is Ahmed Abdul Aziz says, you've been low on the Packers this season. Don't you think Rodgers in the playoffs is scary enough?
Yeah.
And then Matthew Cole Webb says, are the Packers the dark horse? No one's talking about them. If Rodgers gets hot in January and the defense plays opportunistic, they could sneak up on anyone.
That's what does scare me. I mean, I just don't know that yet. I mean, it's just a big unknown.
They could get a bye still.
And our man Ahmed Abdul Aziz. I mean, he's right. You're right. I haven't been down on. I mean, if anybody, that should prove again that I'm not biased because we know Aaron Rodgers is my favorite player. Yes, they're scary. I do look at them as a team that, man, the first round bye would really benefit the Green Bay Packers. To have that week off, then have some team come to play you in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's 10 degrees and they're out of their element that way. Yes, it's going to be tough to beat Green Bay. I don't care who you are in the NFC in that kind of environment. They're just used to playing that way. Their defense is opportunistic. Their game plan specific, as you hear me say a lot, which means they'll come out in a game plan and do something where you go, we didn't prepare for them to play this coverage or play this set when we lined up like this. So I do like that. I just have concerns. Just a lot of dead spots within the offense. The run game's good, but not great. The pass game's good, not great. Now, Rodgers could get on fire, and that's the big thing. That's the ace in the hole right there. No doubt about that. So they're scary, But do I still think they're as good as the 49ers or the Saints? No, I don't. I think they're a notch below that.
Okay.
But I think it's a fair point. And I do think about that with Green Bay. I mean, hey, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen Rodgers catch on fire and win some playoff games where we go, well, they really weren't as good as that team, but he's so awesome they overcame it.
They can get that bye if they win tonight and next week at Minnesota.
Ooh, that'll be huge. That'll be a great equalizer.
Yeah.
I mean, a great equalizer. So then you go into this divisional playoff game, and the Saints got to come play them there. I mean, I give them a puncher's chance against the Saints at home in Green Bay. If it's the other way around, I don't. It's night-night in Green Bay. But Drew Brees outside in the cold air and doing all that, I would worry about that a little bit.
All right, it's hot seat season.
Whoa, hot seat.
It is hot seat season. We've got coaches who are already out, coaches who we assume will be out here in the next week or so.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through this speed round style. We do need a little music for the hot seat season. Oh, okay. Holiday type music once again. This one is from Brook Niz. Oh, no, Broke Niz. Will Carr be on the Raiders roster next season?
It's 50-50 right now.
You'd give it a 50-50 chance. Coin flip situation.
I think it is a total coin flip situation.
You know John Gruden. What do you think he does not like about Derek Carr?
I think that there's two things. I don't know if Derek Carr is. Are you knocking your can onto my foot again?
I'm good.
I don't think Derek Carr has the type of personality that John Gruden necessarily would love. I think John Gruden likes a little fire in his quarterback.
He yelled at you one time
edge.
About that. In the coaches' meeting or the players' meeting, right? Watching film?
Yeah, he always used to. Like, he tried to bring it out of me in my early years, like, because he'd, hey, when the 49ers used to, this Joe Montana will mother everybody. And, as a rookie, it's hard to do that. As a second-year guy, you're still trying to get into your leadership role.
Yeah.
And he would, make me fake yell at people, in the quarterback meeting. And be like, hey, Simms, what would Montana say right here? And I'd be like, you mother on the mother round. And shit like that. Well, I mean, we know Derek Carr's not saying the swear words.
No.
But I think.
But that helped you, though, right? Didn't that kind of help you get out of your shell? And
definitely.
It felt more natural for you after you did it, even though if it wasn't serious at first. You're like, okay, I can do it now.
100%. And then, the off-schedule plays by Derek Carr. I don't know if he's capable enough of doing that for John Gruden either. So I say, this is where I would say, if he can figure out a plan to where he can get somebody in there that he likes, he'll move on from Derek Carr. But if he starts to dabble in the offseason and realizes, the draft, I'm not going to get who I like. A free agent quarterback I might have thought I could get to come into town, I'm not going to get that. Then I think he'll stay status quo with Derek Carr.
Derek Carr on the hot seat. You want to read the name of the next Twitter handle here?
At Hey Would You Blow Me? Oh, I like it. I would not blow you. Sorry. But I will answer your question at Hey, Would You Blow Me?
I do apologize to whoever's editing this one because I do think there are moments that are landmines.
Yeah.
The chicken and egg one, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have my finger on the pulse.
These are facts of matter.
I agree.
I mean, if we can't talk about chicken on the 2019 internet, then I don't know what we can talk about, okay?
Okay, all right. Pete's freaking out now. Is the Washington head coach job the least desired spot available? And then Lockstock6 says, would Lincoln Riley be a great fit for Washington?
Ooh, okay, so
double.
One, I don't think it's the least desirable.
Why?
It's annoying that you're going to have to go work for Dan Snyder and nobody likes that.
It's not the least desirable. It's just annoying.
Well, that's where. But all right. So just for hey, would you blow me? All right.
Uh-huh.
The Redskins have things that coaches are going to like football-wise. Quarterbacks in place. O-line pretty good. D-line. Whoa, it's Kerrigan, it's Montez Sweat, it's the two Alabama boys in the middle with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. There's some things to like right there. That's the hardest thing to build a team, is up front. That's in place. Oh, superstar receiver, budding superstar, Terry McLaurin, So I think there's some pieces there that you go, this is not as big a fix. But do you want to deal with Dan Snyder? The organization does seem a dysfunction. I get it. Would Lincoln Riley be a great fit there? Certainly. So would Urban Meyer. Definitely. I do think that Lincoln Riley could succeed there. That's a team, again, I don't want Lincoln Riley to take over the Dallas Cowboys who are ready to win right now. More has to be the Cliff Kingsbury approach, which
has worked out well for Arizona.
And we're going to build together, right?
Sure.
And that would make sense as a place for Lincoln Riley.
Nareg Setian says, who's the next head coach of the New York Giants? If you were to call it right now and place your money. You get one bet. Who's going to be on the sideline leading the Giants next season?
Two names, Josh McDaniels.
Okay.
All right. I just think that the Giants would call Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick's going to gush about Josh McDaniels. And Josh is he's a Giants type guy. He is. He's buttoned up, detailed. He lives football. You know, he's a good family man. He's everything they believe in as far as being the general of their ship. Plus, the Maras and Bill Belichick have a great relationship, and I think Bill would certainly recommend Josh. I think Josh is the closest thing to Bill in the New England organization. That would be one. Number two, I think it's Matt Rule from Baylor, who's coached with the Giants before as an assistant, and of course turned around Temple football, turned around Baylor football. I mean, he's a really good coach, Matt Rule. I think he's going to become a head coach somewhere, and I do think the Giants are in the running there.
You know a name that I haven't heard out there, and
Yeah.
maybe he's past his time? Herm Edwards. I don't know if he wants to get back into the NFL.
Well, you know
game.
he's at Arizona State, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously he wants to keep coaching.
Yeah, he does.
And it was successful for him at Arizona State. I don't know how much interest he has in getting back into the NFL, but I'm surprised I haven't heard that name.
Yeah, well, I mean,
People are over him, maybe?
He's a great manager of people. I think he's really made for college football at this point. I do. You know, he's not necessarily in the nitty-gritties of the X's and O's and things like that.
Yeah.
He's
He's
more
like the CEO type.
Exactly. He's more the CEO. Hey, they look weak here. We need to run these type of plays.
Yeah.
Or they're doing this on offense. We need to run these kind of defenses.
Which the CEO type is kind of not in vogue right now in the NFL. You got the Sean McVays. And
yeah, people want a little more hands-on. Nobody wants to see their coach they're paying $6 million a year with like their headphone not on and they're just sitting there like cheering the team on.
Right.
That's just not a good look. Herm, yeah, he's got his hands in that, but then also has the great ability to recruit and do all that thing. And I think he's setting up something kind of special at Arizona State.
Nate Hillman, 41.
Yeah.
Your most underwhelming player this year. So what is a player that you look at and you say, he has underachieved, he is not what I thought he was going to be?
Damn.
Most underwhelming player this year. Ooh, Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah, Pete just said Baker.
Near the top of the list.
Baker is up towards the top of the list. It was a subpar year by him for sure.
Hand in hand with Odell. You know,
yeah,
both
I
of
mean
them
Odell
are
too. Yes,
underwhelming.
I get it. I know Odell's been fighting injuries. I know that's a real thing. I mean, even when I was there in training camp this year, that he was still fighting some of those injuries at that point, and it's only gotten worse. But I would say that, I would say the way Jacoby Brissett has played down the stretch is very underwhelming that way. I'm missing some people too.
Nick Foles.
Well, Nick Foles is definitely a disappointment. I mean, we're hitting a lot of quarterbacks here.
Josh Rosen, yeah, I know we are.
But I those are the ones. What's that?
Le'Veon Bell.
No, Le'Veon Bell is underwhelming from a number and output standpoint, but not to me. That was more the way they used him. Was he back to the Le'Veon Bell we know? No, but hey, we saw him yesterday. When you give him touches, he can be super, super talented and effective that way. I think those are the ones that jump out to me.
Melvin Gordon was underwhelming since he held out.
Yeah, but I'm not going to hold it against holdouts or guys who were battling injury like Saquon Barkley or anything like that. Yeah, it's not the year you want, but I'm not going to sit here and just go, oh, they played poor. There's a reason they didn't play up to their best. They've been banged up or they sat out of football or whatever it may be.
Khalil Mack has taken some knocks with
Chicago.
Does.
He has. He's been better than people want to realize, though. He has, as far as F the plays up and round the ball a lot. When there's no Akeem Hicks, everybody just game plans to not let Khalil Mack ruin the game for them. So he's been good. It hasn't been superstar elite. I guess those are the ones that jump out. Okay. Those are ones I wish I had a little more time to think about.
Okay. Well, you can still do that and then tweet it out later.
No, you're right.
Text Matt Casey and then he'll tweet it out for you.
That's social media stuff. Huh?
Final question, the grand finale from Vaughn Moore 17.
Yes.
Sativa or indica?
Sativa.
Okay.
Okay? Or indica.
Or indica.
Oh, I like this.
Sativa. Oh, that's like stevia.
This is him here as a veteran daddy cigar smoker. I expect you to know this one.
That's him.
Hey, at Vaughn and Moore 17, of course I know this. And I didn't get the nickname Chris Sativa Simms for nothing.
Oh, really? Is that really?
So sativa is more of like a social weed, right? Where you're like, okay, yeah, your mind's going a little crazy, but you're not like couch locked, right? You're like, okay, let's go outside and go on a hike, or we'll go. It's a sunny day.
You can still hike on sativa.
You can still kind of be energetic in there.
You can move.
And
You're not
move and do that.
comatose,
Right.
okay?
Indica is going to put you on the couch, and you'll be like, all right, where's the Doritos?
Yes.
Where's the Oreos? Let's do that. So I am a total sativa guy. I don't even mess with indica. I am 100% sativa. And yes, a lot of my friends call me just straight up sativa. So yes, that's what I do.
You answered the question. I don't know if Vaughn Moore is going to be happy.
Did
with
you
the
know
answer
that
or
about
not.
sativa? Or
I didn't even know how
indica?
to pronounce it.
Yeah,
so no,
apparently.
I did not know
Apparently,
that.
yeah. When's the last time you smoked weed?
It's never happened. It's
never?
happened. Yeah.
Never?
You've never invited me over.
Oh
It's never
my
happened.
gosh! All right, well you're
But
getting
what I
invited
do
over
is
now.
I am
peer
still
pressure.
I am still a bad boy because I drink Monster.
Oh yeah,
Energy
real
drink
bad
and
boy,
Rockstar.
real bad boy.
And,
hey,
I'll spill it on your shoes if you're not nice to me.
is Vaughn, right? I guess at Vaughn Moore 17. Don't worry,
Vaughn Moore 17.
I'm gonna get Ahmed on some sativa and put it on social media.
Although the
see how it
indica
works.
seemed kind of fun. I do like Doritos and Cheetos and watching
Well, you'll get
football.
to the Doritos and Cheetos spot too with the sativa eventually, but you'll want to do something at first. All right, that's it.
That's it.
We did it. Packers, Vikings. You wore purple today. Is it because you think the Vikings will win this game?
I like the Vikings. Yeah, I want to see them win. I want to see them win.
I know.
I don't know that they will, but I want to see them.
I expect the Vikings to win the football game. I do. I'm rooting for the Packers.
All
though.
the running backs are hurt, basically.
Yeah, that's
Boone.
scary. I'm rooting for the Packers. You know why? Because it's Aaron Rodgers. You're the
That's true.
greatest. Give me a gift on Christmas Eve.
Go home.
Yeah.
On your way home.
Yeah.
Get some eggnog.
Right. Okay.
And
No.
drink it.
But I'll tell the wife to figure it out. And get
Okay,
it
or
done.
she can get it.
Yes,
Yeah, well, whatever.
right.
Either way, drink some eggnog. Try
All
it.
right.
Okay.
All right, the next pod is the Friday Pick Podcast. Okay, there will be no Wednesday with the big none of that. Of course, that's Christmas. So the next Picks Podcast is coming up. That's the PFT PM Chris Simms Unbuttoned collaboration. Ahmed, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
You're the man. Always enjoy doing it with you. Everybody out there, be safe. Enjoy the holidays. Have some fun. Drink your gin and tonica. Smoke your marijuana. Peace out. Yo, what's up? Come on, man. Subscribe on YouTube to Chris Simms Unbuttoned Podcast. I need you. Please hit the subscribe button, please.